In today's news, BVI Tourist Board to hold free non-stop concert on June 30th. Premier urges hurricane preparedness. World Lupus Day 2023 is observed and government to invest some $50,000 into musical artists, and bird strike impacts Cape Air flight. We have the details of this and so much more when 284 News returns.
The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman presents Sons in Suits Brunch, a celebration of fathers and sons, at Treasure Isle Hotel on Saturday, June 17th, 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., featuring guest speakers, Deputy Governor of the Virgin Islands David D. Archer Jr., Pastor Courtney Jones, entertainer Raul Jugu-Sprov, entertainment by Johanse Smith and Che Pemberton, alongside DJ Molly. Tickets are $75 for a father and son duo and $40 single tickets. Fun, food, fellowship, and fatherhood. Lots of giveaways included. Ticket outlets are CCT flagship stores on Tortola and Virgin Gorda. Calling all fathers, sons, father figures, nephews, and uncles. Sons in Suits 2023, hosted by the Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, a red carpet celebration of fathers and sons. For more information, contact 442-3132. Proudly sponsored by CCT and 284 Media.
Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day.
Hello everyone, it is Monday, June 5th, 2023. Welcome to this edition of 284 News. I'm Ron Grant, bringing you the latest out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands. Thank you all so much for joining us, and a happy Monday is wished to all. The British Virgin Islands Tourist Board is set to hold a free, non-stop concert on June 30th at Brandywine Bay. The event, which is the first of its kind to be held in the British Virgin Islands, is expected to headline Jamaican dance hall recording artist Conscience, United States Virgin Islands, Rock City, and local stars Monet and Vibe. Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. The Honorable Natalia D. Whitley, made the announcement during an impromptu press conference held on Friday, June 2nd, where Premier revealed that there will be a return of the BVI Music Fest in 2014. He said the concert is to complement the return of direct flights from the United States to the territory on American Airlines and is expected to revive entertainment tourism here in the Virgin Islands.
Not only is this concert a celebration of our non-stop service between Miami and Beef Island, it signals this government's commitment to entertainment tourism, which enhances our overall tourism product by providing locals and visitors with activities that are vibrant and exciting. With the engagement of the events manager at the Tourist Board, we can expect more events throughout the year that will provide the opportunity for visitors to come from the United States, our neighboring United States Virgin Islands, other islands in our region, along with our very own residents, looking for the opportunity to enjoy our little piece of paradise. We can expect the return of the Music Fest in 2024.
Premier Whitley also disclosed that the one-day event will cost the government some $250,000, monies the Premier alluded to being pocketed and change when compared to the budget sizes that he intends on spending to revive the entertainment tourism industry in the Virgin Islands.
These events are expensive, and Kathy, if you want to make money, you have to spend money. If you want to be in the tourism business, I think later this month you're going to have St. Kitts Music Festival, and you'll have a bunch of people from the BVI go there. But those festivals are not cheap. They cost money, and if you want to be in the game, Kathy, you have to spend the money. And if persons are concerned about a little $250K, just wait until I really get going, Kathy, because I want to make the Virgin Islands a true destination for persons coming on that same Miami flight to the Virgin Islands. I want to have big artists, artists internationally, regionally, and locally, and that can have events that will attract persons from certainly United States Virgin Islands, and across the Caribbean.
Mr. Dirk Walters, event manager at the BVI Tourist Board, said the concert will mark the start of major events to be held by the BVI Tourist Board.
There were several factors, of course, that went into determining the performing artists for this, including availability, costs, and whatnot. And of course, as the Honorable Premier mentioned, this is a totally free concert. General admission will be free. So we expect a large influx of persons coming in. We invite persons from all around the world, including the region, locally, and next door in the USVI to come and participate in this event. And it is going to be the start of major projects and initiatives to come from the BVI Tourist Board, and it shows the government's commitment to enhancing tourism to the country. So we have these artists. We wanted to cover a broad spectrum of different genres of music, of course, and of course deal with, like I said, the availability of the artists within this time. Some artists are already on tour and things like that. So I do think that we've put together a nice array of artists for this event.
As the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season has now begun, Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley is urging the Virgin Islands to be prepared for any possible inclement weather that would come to the territory. He stressed that while the government of the Virgin Islands will take the necessary action to ensure that the territory is kept running, it is imperative that residents take steps to secure themselves and their property in the case of a storm. He also urged residents to be their neighbor's keeper and offer assistance where able.
As we plan for the season, we must remember that while the government of the Virgin Islands will mobilize all the resources necessary to the orderly running of the territory, our capacity to recover will also depend on how well we as a people prepare. With that in mind, I hope that those of you with the means to do so will look out for your neighbors and your village community. Assist those in need when and how you are able.
The Premier employed the population not to wait until there is a notice of a weather system in order to begin their preparation.
Let there be no mistake. The best way to come through a disaster safely is through thoughtful planning now, while we are calm, and not in the middle of an impact or after a storm happens. Most of us need no reminder of the destructive power that storms and hurricanes can produce. Storm surge, rip currents, heavy rains, and high winds are serious threats.
He further warned of the seriousness of the powerful weather systems detected during the hurricane season and urged the territory to adhere to the recommendations of the relevant authorities while navigating this time.
In the face of these threats, we have an obligation to prepare while we can. I strongly urge individuals, families, businesses, and mariners to take the time now to get prepared and remain watchful. All it takes to upend our lives and economy is one storm. Therefore, it is incumbent upon us, the people of the Virgin Islands, to adhere to the highest level of preparedness as recommended by the Department of Disaster Management and other agencies. We must also make it a practice to monitor conditions so that we will know what risks are on the horizon. For more information about how you can prepare for the season, I encourage you to log on to www.bviddm.com. There you can also view daily reports throughout the season about any weather systems that may be developing in our area.
Members of the public are urged to stay abreast with updates from the Department of Disaster Management, particularly at this time, for daily updates on the progression of the hurricane season and weather updates specific to the territory of the Virgin Islands. Viewers, up next we have more local news. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Rashford made it. Manchester United have come from behind to lead.
At home or on the go, watch CCT Live. Download our app and carry your favorite TV shows, news, or live sports anywhere you go. Visit cctbvi.com/live, select your package, and tune in.
Angie, how can I get my claims paid quick? Rent's due next week.
CG processes 99% of claims within 5 days. Remember when I was hang gliding with those goats? I caught a gust of wind and flew right into a moving car. Every appendage was in the cast, and they paid fast and fairly. That's what I get for trusting a man with a mustache and an eye patch. Now I gotta go. I'm meeting the guy who bedazzled my toes.
99% of claims are processed within 5 days. CG Insurance. Good like that.
When you're in need of air conditioning, installation, repairs, or replacement services, Markinson Air Conditioning and Refrigeration has the professional technicians, equipment, parts, and ACs to get the job done right. Markinson Air Conditioning and Refrigeration carries top brands like Daikin, Aircon, Mitsubishi, and more. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located in Fish Bay. Telephone 340-4114 or 343-9511. Markinson Air Conditioning and Refrigeration, providing exceptional services to the British Virgin Islands since 2015.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. Continuing on the local scene, on May 10th, the BVI joined the international community in observing World Lupus Day, an annual observation which serves and rallies persons around the world of the purpose of the bringing together of greater attention to the disease and the need, of course, for resources and efforts to support these affected by the potentially fatal disease. In line with the observation, Chief Nursing Officer Jacinth Hannibal featured on the World Lupus Day edition of the Department of Health's Health Bites program. She set the pace for discussion on that day by delving into the need for objectivity with the World Lupus Day.
The aim is to shed light upon lupus. As you say, a lot of persons, lupus seems to be a secret. A lot of persons don't know about it. It is like that disease that, nobody wants to hear about or talk about. But lupus is, a lot of persons suffer with lupus. And it costs a lot in terms of persons who have lupus in order to, take care of themselves. So World Lupus Day is put aside as a day where you can make contributions to the World Lupus Federation, but not only that, but information about lupus is shared throughout the world. There are organizations, for instance, Lupus UK and the American Society for Lupus, and they both, and as well as other lupus federations throughout the world. But those two in particular, they're major organizations, and they would offer a lot of courses, they offer information, they offer support for persons who have lupus around the world.
Hannibal further sought to provide clarity on what lupus is and how it affects the body.
Okay, so lupus, first of all, is a chronic disease, right? It's a chronic disease of the immune system. What happens is that our bodies are made up with what is called the immune system. And you would have heard about the immune system when we had COVID. Everybody was talking about strengthening your immune system and boosting your immune system. This is a part of our bodies that is supposed to recognize foreign bodies and fight against the foreign bodies, right? But what happens in lupus and some of the other autoimmune conditions is that your body now starts to fight against itself. So that's why it's called autoimmune. So you have diseases such as fibromyalgia, you have multiple sclerosis, you have myasthenia gravis. All of those are autoimmune diseases where the body now fights against itself. Now in lupus, the body fights against itself in various organs. So for instance, you'll have systemic lupus erythematosus, and that is where the body will fight against several parts. You'll have the skin, you can fight against the skin, whereby you'll have rashes. You're very, if you get exposed to ultraviolet light, for instance, UV lights in bulbs, even indoors or outdoors, you can have skin rashes. And then you also you can fight against the other organs as well. So one of the most prevalent issues that persons with lupus can have is lupus nephritis, where the body fights against itself in the region of the kidneys, and these persons can progress to renal failure. In fact, 1 out of 3 persons with lupus may develop lupus nephritis. So that's a very serious condition, and once it gets to that stage, it's very difficult to treat. Persons usually require a renal transplant. So lupus of itself, it's a really it's not as bad. It's a disease that can be fatal. All right, let me not sugarcoat it. It's a disease that can be fatal. However, with treatments, persons' lives can be extended.
She also explained that everyone's experience with the disease can be quite different and that this adds to the importance of knowing what to look for and when to visit your doctor.
Lupus is different for everyone. So what person A may present with in lupus, person B might not have those things, and so there's a spectrum of signs and symptoms, and there are about 10 different ones, 10 different major ones. And so for a person to be diagnosed with lupus, they have to have at least 4 out of these symptoms and signs and symptoms. Some of the major ones I can point out would be fatigue. And when I tell you this is like a bone-chilling fatigue where you have no energy to do anything. You would wake up tired in the morning, and yet when you go to sleep at night, you cannot fall asleep. So persons will make plans and, oh, we want to do this today, we want to go on a trip, we want to go on, and then you find that you just don't have the energy to do it. So because of this, it impacts your ability to work. Persons who have lupus often have many sick days. They will be at work sometimes and they cannot think. Because one of the other signs and symptoms is that you can have a brain fog, what you call a brain fog, where your thoughts are not as clear. Some persons will have forgetfulness, where they can't remember from one day to the next what is happening. And so it's a very distressing and disturbing disease. It impacts just about all your walks of life. Persons would like to take a walk in the park, for instance. But if you have lupus, you have to think about making sure that your skin is protected, that you're wearing protective creams. You have to think about wearing long sleeve shirts so you're not exposed to the sun, because the sun can cause the sun is a trigger, and the sun can cause your body now to flare and actually can shut down your body. Right, so you have to make sure, and some persons tease and say, well, it's a Dracula's disease, because really and truly you have to protect yourself from any form of UV light, whether it's by the sun, outdoor, or indoor. You have UV light indoor.
The Ministry of Health and Social Development will be hosting a seminar on lupus to strengthen the capacity to identify, diagnose, and treat, and to care for persons with the disease. The training sessions will be facilitated by consultant Dr. Stacy Davis from Jamaica from 7:30 p.m. on June 6th. Now, the seminars are geared towards doctors, nurses, and other healthcare workers, but members of the public are also invited to join and gain continuing education credits that are available. The government of the Virgin Islands will be investing a total of some $50,000 into the development of local musical artists. This was disclosed by Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley, who announced during a press conference last Friday. Premier Wheatley said the investment will be managed by the Virgin Islands Festival and Fairs Committee.
I can also announce an initiative where the government is investing $50,000 into our Virgin Islands artists. This investment is to help our artists to grow, develop, and take their artistry to the next level. This money and its investment will be managed by the Festival and Fairs Committee.
Premier Wheatley also explained the ultimate goal of the initiative, which he said is to provide local musical artists with the tools that will lead to more exposure that will benefit the artists and ultimately the British Virgin Islands.
We have artists in the Virgin Islands who have a great deal of promise, great deal of talent, and I wanted to help to support these artists to take their artistry to the next level. It could be that artists need to be able to facilitate partnerships with international recording artists to do a recording in the studio. It could be something else. It could be a contribution towards an event that an artist is taking place that will help to promote that artist both regionally and internationally. It could be a number of other things that could be done to help these artists perhaps with their marketing and their promotion. But that's something that I'm going to lead to the Festival and Fairs to be able to determine what's the best use of the money for a particular artist. But the ultimate goal is to be able to have our artists raise their level, to be able to be more successful as artists, gain greater visibility, to have better quality sound, better quality, songs that hopefully will make international airwaves and help to promote them as an artist. And one thing that will do for us as well, that will help to promote us as a destination and as a jurisdiction. They'll continue to be, because they're already ambassadors for the BVI. They'll be even better ambassadors for the BVI as a result of the investment that their government is putting into them.
Viewers, up next, we have more local news. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman presents Sons in Suits Brunch, a celebration of fathers and sons, at Treasural Hotel on Saturday, June 17th, 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., featuring guest speakers, Deputy Governor of the Virgin Islands David D. Archer Jr., Pastor Courtney Jones, entertainer Raul Jugu Sprov, entertainment by Johanse Smith and Che Pemberton, alongside DJ Molly. Tickets are $75 for a father and son duo and $40 single tickets. Fun, food, fellowship, and fatherhood. Lots of giveaways included. Ticket outlets are CCT flagship stores on Tortola and Virgin Gorda. Calling all fathers, sons, father figures, nephews, and uncles. Sons in Suits 2023, hosted by the Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, a red carpet celebration of fathers and sons. For more information, contact 442-3132. Proudly sponsored by CCT and 284 Media.
Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day.
When you're in need of air conditioning, installation, repairs, or replacement services, Markinson Air Conditioning and Refrigeration has the professional technicians, equipment, parts, and ACs to get the job done right. Markinson Air Conditioning and Refrigeration carries top brands like Daikin, Aircon, Mitsubishi, and more. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located in Fish Bay. Telephone 340-4114 or 343-9511. Markinson Air Conditioning and Refrigeration, providing exceptional services to the British Virgin Islands since 2015.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. On to the final leg of our newscast. 2 passengers on board Cape Air Flight's KAP 8861 received injuries after the aircraft came into contact with birds following its departure from the Terence B. Lettsome International Airport to the Cyril E. Kim Airport in St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands. Now, the Virgin Islands Ports Authority confirmed the incident in a media release on Sunday, June 4th, stating that the incident occurred around 2:53 p.m. after a bird strike north of Water Island just before landing. They said, and I quote, "The aircraft landed at C.E. King at 2:56 p.m. without incident and taxied to the terminal gate under its own power," the VIPA stated. Now, the Ports Authority also revealed that their airport operations and aircraft rescue as well as firefighter personnel sprang into action quickly after the plane landed, where 5 passengers and the pilot were assisted. They said, and I quote, "VI Fire and Emergency Services also responded to the incident. The passengers of the aircraft were transported to the Schneider Regional Medical Center, while 2 of the passengers were injured. Of the passengers injured, thankfully, there were no fatalities." Now, viewers, the incident did not affect regular operations at the Cyril E. King Airport, which remained open. On the matter of hospitality in the Virgin Islands, Scrub Island Resort, Spa and Marina has appointed Sandra Grimshan Cotelier as Director of Business Development of the luxury private island Getaway within the British Virgin Islands. Grimshan Cotelier will oversee operations and activations which involve all facilities at the property, including the soon-to-be-open Marina Quay. In a quote, they said, "Sandra is a great addition and we're thrilled to have her join the Scrub Island team at their exciting time." Additionally, Vice President and Managing Partner Julian Colser of the Mainsail Lodging and Development, said over her outstanding career in the industry, Sandra has developed a long-standing connection within the Caribbean that will allow her to enhance operations at Scrub Island and, of course, further improve the island experience for our overnight and day visits. Gresham Cotelier has spent some 30 years in the operations and management at various resorts throughout the United States as well as the Caribbean region. Most recently, she was the general manager at DV Carina Bay in St. Croix, USVI, and before that, general manager of Alia Belize, the Autograph Collection Resort at San Pedro, Belize. She also held management positions in the BVI with Bitter End Yacht Club, Peter Island Resort, and Rosewood Little Dix Bay. Grimsham Cotelier has a degree in business administration from California Southern University. She resides in Great Camano, adjacent to Scrub Island, tucked along a rugged cliff overlooking, of course, the Atlantic Ocean, Caribbean Sea, and neighboring islands. The resort, Scrub Island, that is, has offered a serene haven for travelers and locals alike, opening in 2010, providing exceptional on-island experiences and an ideal location for the island hopping exploration of the best of the BVI. Now, one of the things that's important to mention is the shallows surrounding Scrub Island, as well as many nearby coves, bays, reefs, and ideal areas are perfect for snorkeling and diving. Snorkeling and diving trips may be arranged with the Dive BVI locations on property, and Scrub Island's marina is also the home of the America's #1 sailing school. Of course, if you have any questions or concerns, you can contact Scrub Island themselves directly at the resort. Viewers, that is it for today's News Roundup. I want to thank you so much for joining us. A happy Monday is wished to each and every one of you. For all of our daily updates, visit tweet4media.com, and of course, like us on Tweet4Media on Facebook and tweet4media.com as our website. We also implore you to visit our Twitter and YouTube as well as Instagram page. I'm Ron Grant, reporting for 284 News. Have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Rashford made it. Manchester United have come from behind to lead.
At home or on the go, watch CCT Live. Download our app and carry your favorite TV shows, news, or live sports anywhere you go. Visit cctbvi.com/live, select your package, and tune in.
The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman presents Sons in Suits Brunch, a celebration of fathers and sons, at Treasure Isle Hotel on Saturday, June 17th, 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., featuring guest speakers, Deputy Governor of the Virgin Islands David D. Archer Jr., Pastor Courtney Jones, entertainer Raul Jugu-Sprov, entertainment by Johanse Smith and Che Pemberton, alongside DJ Molly. Tickets are $75 for a father and son duo and $40 single tickets. Fun, food, fellowship, and fatherhood. Lots of giveaways included. Ticket outlets are CCT flagship stores on Tortola and Virgin Gorda. Calling all fathers, sons, father figures, nephews, and uncles. Sons in Suits 2023, hosted by the Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, a red carpet celebration of fathers and sons. For more information, contact 442-3132. Proudly sponsored by CCT and 284 Media.
Happy Father's Day to you. Happy